well, and More Joyous down to the line, but the champion filly fights back and wins it. More Joyous.
Universal Prince Late, but tie the knot, the grand old campaigner. He makes racing history.
Brits moves up on the outside of Happy Clever for a world record of 23 Group 1s. But Verry Elleegant, she's brave, she lifts, and she wins her second Chipping Norton.
What a day of racing we've got today, and now for the first time I think in the summer and autumn program, maybe Sydney starts to really flex its muscle with two Group 1s, the Verry Elleegant, formerly known as the Chipping Norton, the Surround Stakes, great support with those 2-year-old races, the Sweet Embrace, the Skyline, of course complementing what's happening at Flemington with Australian Guineas Day today. How is this track going to play at Randwick today? We've set the best in the business out there. M&K.
We have had an immaculate week of weather here in Sydney, but I tell you what, KM, it is very steamy here in Sydney today. Humidity about 80%. We're looking for a top of 30 degrees, and as a result, this track has done a great job growing over the last week or so.
Yeah, it certainly has, Em. It is just pristine conditions here today, and I hope you've got the fire extinguisher out, because I tell you what, Randwick is going to be lit on fire today with the calibre of horses that we've got on show. Lady Shenandoah, Lady of Camelot, and of course Via Sistina, the Cox Plate champ.
God, you've got it all covered. So rail in the true position. They've had to put about 24 mils of irrigation on the track over the last week or so because we have had minimal rainfall. The grass has been cut. I'd say this is pretty short for Randwick. Haven't seen it this short for a little while, but I reckon everyone gets their chance, fair surface.
Yeah, absolutely, and there's absolutely no breeze whatsoever, so hopefully it's a fair track and it plays well.
We'll need the cold waters later on.
Oh, they are pumped, those two, aren't they? They're going to be quite the handful today. And talking of a handful, Zach Lloyd had a little 5-timer last Saturday. He was absolutely superb, but fortunately got a little suspension, so he won't be riding today. But Zach Lloyd is in incredible form. Where Zach's away, but J-Mac's back.
Big Dog's back in town, isn't he, KM, after an overseas little jaunt over the weekend to Saudi Arabia and to Hong Kong, and he'd be most excited about this girl.
Yeah, he can't wait to get back on board Via Sistina. Of course, she came back really well in the Apollo, and this girl, Lady Shenandoah, she's very short in the market, but should she be?
Well, off her last win, I think she should be, and I know you'll hate me for doing this, but I tried to find something to beat him and just couldn't. I mean, look at that book of rides. You've got Via Sistina. She'll start $1.60, if not shorter, in a Verry Elleegant stakes. Lady Shenandoah at the moment is at about $1.40. And then Amelia's Jewel, hopefully she can stand up and deliver today after a long time in between drinks. And then Snitzel Miss is a very, very promising 2-year-old.
Yeah, it's a good book of rides. I think Jason Collett's riding really well at the moment too, and he's got Menard.
Looking forward to seeing her back.
Super Saturday of racing today on 7 and 3 Group 1s. And can Chris Waller continue his exceptional season, an exceptional career? 10 Group 1s for the season, but Kieran Maher starting to flex his muscle today.
He is starting to flex his muscles, and I did say at the start of this autumn, I think Chris Waller could potentially take over his 18 Group 1 winners.
Yep.
I said he could train even more 20 Group 1 winners. I made that call, and look at the Waller army. I don't know how thrilled he's going to be about looking like a sergeant
I don't know
major.
if he'll be thrilled, but he's got an unbelievable chance in the 2 Group 1s in Sydney. In fact, the Melbourne Group 1, no Waller, no Maher, no Waterhouse. An opportunity for someone else to stand up in the Australian Guineas, but Chris Waller expected to extend on his 10 Group 1s, and Via Sistina gets a chance to make it 5 for the season.
She does, and that's Mr. B on screen. He's been so dominant. He made it 9 career Group 1s, the most Group 1s for a Lindsay Park trained horse. Great scenes last week at Caulfield. He's an iron horse with 3 young gentlemen who are doing a very, very good job.
And talking of a good job is Ethan Brown. So 4 Group 1s for the season. So Craig and Ethan both picked one up on last Saturday. James McDonald, 6 in Australia, but he's been travelling around the globe. So he's got 5 international Group 1s this season, but purely from an Australian point of view, it's
the road to the Golden Slipper, and we have a big one coming up again here. Of course, we've already seen the Rivellino win the Skyline, the Sweet Embrace, but Look at Waller's Army coming up in the Group 1 Verry Elleegant Stakes. Of course, Via Sistina, Fangirl, who won the Apollo. And it just does not end there. Gee, it would be nice waking up and walking into his stable at the moment, wouldn't it, Em?
Just full of stars, and they're listed down the bottom there. I mean, Lindemann, Via Sistina, Fangirl, Land Legend, Lady Shenandoah, Lazura. Amelita's a filly with plenty of promise. So is Declici Boulevard, Karinska, Schnitzel Miss, and Alentia. It's just an unbelievable... And Lizzie. Let's flash back to 1946, Katie, because the Verry Elleegant, or once known as the Chipping Norton, has a long and illustrious history. Look at the crowds here where they saw Burnborough and Flight fight it out.
Yeah, two superstars, but isn't it unbelievable seeing the people on the inside fence as well as just not a spot of clear ground on the other side. Just the people that used to go to the races in the 40s was incredible.
79 years ago, that vision. As we take you into Group 1 territory now, and James McDonald has got an elite Group 1 book of rides today, headlined by Lady Shenandoah and Via Sistina in the Verry Elleegant. Both of them very short in the market, but justifiably so.
Yeah, look, he was pretty pumped this morning, that's for sure. He's a big day today. He's already had a couple of winners, so that'll just make it all a little bit easier. Of course, Lady Shenandoah, he's had a lot to do with. He's ridden her a couple of times, but he's done a lot of track work on her this preparation, and he's just so thrilled at the way that she's come back. She's filled out into that frame. She's just a beautiful looking filly, and he's ecstatic to be on board today.
Yeah, she's very exciting. In that same light fingers, we saw Manal, who was a winner on this very day in the Sweet Embraces, a 2-year-old last year. I thought first up she was okay, and as an older filly now, the 1400 metres today could suit.
Yeah, absolutely could suit. She trialled well leading into her first up run, so she can bounce out of that. She'll be a big improver.
So those trying to win their first Group 1 today, there are a few trainers who are looking for their first Group 1, one of them being, of course, Tom Charlton, who is part of the team with more territories. As we take you into the yard, and I mean, she's got to be a top pick based on what she's done over her last 3 starts. She's put pain to her opposition in the Ming Dynasty, the Flight, her first Group 1 at Randwick, last preparation, then her first up in the light fingers.
Yeah, she sure has. She's flat out trying to catch her. She's got this big, enormous stride on her, very economical action. She's nice and settled, which you like to see, because she always comes into her preparation hot, and she can't wait to get on with it. So it's nice to see her just parading the way that she is. Here is the Golden Slipper champ of last year, Lady of Camelot. Of course, the blinkers come off today. She's got the earmuffs there, just keeping her nice and relaxed. She's a classy galloper. She's going to be forward, and no doubt she will take a little bit of catching.
She will. She sets a nice little tempo that will suit her. The 1400 metres is going to be the question for a lot of good judges, her first attempt at the 7 furlongs. Well, this girl has no problems with the 1400 metres. Of course, she ran 3rd in the T-Rose last year. She will take some improvement, as she always does. We know that she has a toughness about her.
Yeah, she does. She's quite a thick set filly, isn't she? So she no doubt probably needed that run first up. So yeah, look for her late. She'll be flashing home. Powers are Opal for John Sargent and Karen McAvoy. She's resuming. She is a beautiful filly. Of course, she just got beat in the VRC Oaks to treasure the moment. So no doubt she will kick off her campaign in this race.
A starting point for her. We take a look at the 6 Lilac, and I think she's a very good filly, this filly by Justify. We saw that last preparation when she won that listed Jim Maloney at Caulfield over the 1400 metres, which is a good point to take note of. She's 3rd up today. Is she up to Group 1 level, though?
Yeah, look, she won't be too far away. She's a couple of lengths off Lady Shenandoah. Lazura, she's drawn barrier 1. Again, she resumed in the light fingers, and similar sort of run. She was a couple of lengths behind Lady Shenandoah. She'll improve in her fitness. Second up, more territories is Richo's Ruffy for Ronan Whelan and John O'Shea. Tom Charlton, of course, Tom Charlton looking for his first Group 1 winner, and John O'Shea looking for his 30th. So look, she's a really promising filly. She won really well first up in a benchmark race. She's going to have to be pretty good to beat Lady Shenandoah, but we'll see where she fits in.
That was an easy kill first up. So here's Amelita. Now, she was the real eye-catcher in the light fingers, so 1600 metres for her in time is going to suit.
Yes, she is definitely capable. Castagna for Annabelle and Rob. She ran first up. Another horse that she finished off okay. She's probably going to have to lift. She's big odds.
Take a look at the 11 now, Decleachy Boulevard, which is a filly that I think both you and I have a bit of time for. Nashra Willa to ride again. The extra trip suits. Yes, she's at a big quote, but I think as a place chance, she's got to be in your multiples.
Yeah, absolutely. The 1400 really up her alley. That's what she'll be looking for. And a Husk, look, she led, controlled, dictated, kicked and ran really well in the desirable stakes. But she might be a horse that will go forward today. Put a little bit more pressure on Lady of Camelot, and the last horse is Dominator.
And the 14 there is Idle Flyer for Ash Morgan. Let's get a market update. Time, haven't they? Lady Shenandoah. She's only at her 6th start. She's going round at Winks odds today in the Group 1 Surround Stakes. Can anything beat her, or is the only thing that can beat her bad luck?
I'd say absolutely. Bad luck's probably one thing. She's drawn really well, so hopefully she doesn't get stuck behind them, but she is a really promising filly.
Okay, we are getting behind the gates for the Group 1 Surround Stakes, and More Territories is a filly who got an easy kill here at Randwick a few weeks ago over the 1400 metres, so the 7 furlongs doesn't worry her as John O'Shea joins me. We've seen her in elite company before. How much improvement has she taken up from that first up run, and also I guess confidence for her as well?
I think that's important for a filly. It's important today that she executes, and puts herself into the race early. You got to remember, when she raced at this level previously, she never had the blinkers, and they've been a really positive thing for her, So we're optimistic she can run well, and if we find the back of the favourite in the run, that'll help,
Good to hear that you think that she can give this favourite a shake, because she's now at $1.25. Young Tom, who joined you last year in your training partnership, he's still looking for his maiden Group 1 as a trainer.
Well, it'd be nice for him to win it for Ron, because he's been such a great supporter of ours, and Mr. Lever. So, but we'll be happy to take any Group 1 in.
Good luck.
Cheers.
John O'Shea there, who saddles up More Territories in this fillies race. Okay, dare I ask the market mover, Ali?
Well, you might be surprised, Em. Lady Shenandoah is at $1.28 now, so I've gone with More Territories. 41 into $34 is the only one they're specking outside of your $1.28 favourite.
Some quiet confidence there from Mr. O'Shea, although, the favourite does look hard to beat.
Yeah, well, John's won the race before with James McDonald in the saddle back in 2015 with Jasoni, so yeah, look, there she is. She's moving up. She's obviously, it's going to be a tough ask for her, but she's full of confidence, and John O'Shea and Tom Charlton, great trainers. But yeah, it's going to be really hard to beat Lady Shenandoah. She's just presented in great order from Chris Waller, and yeah, she's nice and relaxed. That's the only thing that you see. If she had got upset and hot and sweaty, such hot conditions out here, would have been a little slight concern for me. But yeah, we'll see what she can do here, Em.
Well, she's an exciting filly, whichever way you look at it. Can anything beat her, Richo and Lizzie?
Look, she's the obvious, Em, but I think she's overbet at that price. You start to get excited. My roughie is More Territories, the Amelita, Lazuro. These sort of horses now represent a great each-way play, Lizzie, as opposed to $1.26.
Yeah, and throw a few into the multiples as well. I thought, I know Island Deck was only a narrow winner last time out, but she's got plenty of talent. The favourite looks incredibly hard to beat, but with fillies races, you always have to sometimes look a little wider, and this is an extremely good contest. I thought if they could beat her first up, that would be when she would be most vulnerable. They didn't do that. She looks the hardest to beat. Powers Opal moves up, and she is drawn the car pack. Let's see how it all unfolds.
Group 1 for the 3-year-old fillies. Stand by for a start. $1.30, Lady Shenandoah. They're set. And they're racing. Great line out. Dominator began particularly well, and Lilac pouncing on the lead. Lady of Camelot is right there. Lady Shenandoah is pretty handy to the action, and Lazura goes up the fence with Huss taking hold. Then came More Territories from Amelita. Manal out wide, easing back, looking for cover. In advance there, Decleachy Boulevard. Idle Flyer out wide from Castagna. Island Deck and Powers of Opals last of all. So Lilac in front, a neck in front now to Lady of Camelot. And Lady Shenandoah cruising in third position. Lazura on the rails, Dominator 3 wide. 3/4 of a length into more territories. Further back to Husk, Manal on a 3-wide path, Castagna the fence. Then came to Clichy Boulevard from Amelita. Island Deck is third last and 3 wide from Powers of Opal. And Idle Flyers last of all. 5:50 to go. Lilac a half in front to Lady of Camelot. 2 lengths away to Lady Shenandoah. Lazuro's holding the fence. Dominator next, followed by more territories. Husk looking to work into the clear. Up the rise, Lilac in front of Lady of Camelot. And now Lady Shenandoah just cruised up on the outside. McDonald gave the Star Filly the cure. And Lady Shenandoah races up on the outside of Lady of Camelot, who's showing plenty of fight. Lady Shenandoah, Lady of Camelot's fighting hard. Lady Shenandoah push right out and wins the surround. Lady Shenandoah from a brave Lady of Camelot. Good margin back, I think Lazura third in front of Manal, then Lilac to Clichy Boulevard late. Further back to Dominator, Castagna, Powers of Opal, Husk, Amelita, Idle Flyer and Island Deck.
She's the champ. She's just simply too good for them. Lady of Camelot, who was third up, the little edge in fitness, really put it to her. The Golden Slipper champ really was brave, but Lady Shenandoah, 1,400 metres, absolutely tough as nails. The sky is the limit, Katie, on this girl.
Yeah, she is just a weapon, isn't she? She was afforded a beautiful ride from James McDonald. It all worked out quite well for him. I know that he was a bit of a concern this morning of how the speed was going to be for her, because of course she drew a barrier where she could have ended up on the fence, but I know that he definitely didn't want to be there, and he got her into the 1-1. And Lady of Camelot put up a really, really brave fight. She was brilliant in defeat there. I thought she ran out the 1,400 nice and strong. They spaced Lazura there for third, who was also brilliant. But yeah, the cream rises to the top there. Lady Shenandoah was superb, really superb. James McDonald gets his 110th Group 1 winner, and Chris Waller 172 now. It's pretty remarkable, the season that they're having, Richo.
Certainly is remarkable, the season that they are having, and I was watching this battle with you, Richo, and I thought, oh, the Golden Slipper winner is absolutely laying it down to Lady Shenandoah, and at this point in time you can see she got almost upside, so look, I even think she headed her, and this is the point when Lady Shenandoah just kicked back and said, no, I'm in for the fight, I've just got that little bit more stamina, and only, look, she had to work for it this time. This is the first time she's had to really work for it, and she was tested by a genuine Group 1 performer.
And she did overdo it a touch, didn't she early on, Katie? We saw James went forward with her. By gee, she was keen on the bridle in the first 400 or 500.
Yeah, well, I noticed that she just stepped slightly slow away, and he gave her a really good squeeze because, of course, he didn't want to be shuffled back in a slowly run race on a $1.30 pop. So, yeah, it was a great confident ride, and I think Emma is with Chris Waller.
Hello, Chris. Well, she's broken the race record, and that's the toughest fight she's been in her career, but she was up for the fight today. Talk us through how you were feeling watching the final half furlong.
Yeah, it was. I could see that she'd accelerated, but didn't quite clear the horses around her. And then I realised it's Lady Camelot, so she's a Golden Slipper winner. So I knew a Waterhouse spot horse is going to be hard to get past, and sure enough it was. And it lifted, and it was good to see Lady Shenandoah fight and be dominant.
Tell us about how she is at home, because now after her 6 career start, she's already won 2 Group 1s, and the sky looks like the limit for her. Is she an easy filly? I mean, we've seen her get very warm here on track before, but as she settles into the preparation, does she just relax more into it?
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she's a dream. We look after her, and as we do with all our horses, to try and get the best out of them and encourage them to develop with time. And that's all we've done with her. And we asked her a question in the spring, like 3 races in a row, which she won all of them. But we knew then it was time to give up and just give a bit of time. So, yeah, we're being repaid with it. How far we go, I don't know, because it is about looking after them, because she's got a massive career ahead.
So does she stay in fillies and mares grade, or I know that she's got 51.5 in a Doncaster, so that's a long time away, but where would you like to head with her?
It wouldn't be normal for our stable to put them in a Doncaster that early age. So I'd say it's unlikely, but I'd talk to the owners and think about everything. But yeah, it's easier said than done, isn't it?
Well done. She's a star that we're loving watching as she progresses through her career, and no doubt bigger targets in sight.
No, thank you very much.
Thank
Yeah, so she becomes...
you. Look at how important this horse is to your family. 9 Group 1s she won. I mean, you loved her.
Yeah, we do. We love her so much, and of course, yeah, it was really hard with the passing of her last year, and she means a lot to our family, and it's great to have a race named in her honour.
So Ash Morgan, he's taking all before him at the moment as he makes the permanent move to Sydney. He's on board Arapaho, who's a Group 1 winner. Probably expect that the mile will be too short for him today, but Ash is looking for his maiden Group 1 victory in the Verry Elleegant Stakes today. He'll ride Private Harry in the Group 1 Galaxy in a few weeks' time, which you would expect would be his biggest chance of getting racing's greatest prize. So we're counting down to the Group 1 Verry Elleegant, and it's only just around the corner. So into the yard we go, over the mile at Weight for Age, and this is Zarakem, who we don't know a huge amount about, Katie, an import from France who's run second in a Group 1, the Prince of Wales, to Auguste Rodin a few preparations back, but you would expect the 1600 metres might be a bit short, looking towards the Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah,
perhaps.
he's a fascinating runner. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do today, because I think at his best, he is right up to winning a Group 1 here in Australia. Faulkner Park for Annabelle and Rob, to Tyler Schiller taking the reins here, of course, first up, so probably going to need this today.
Yeah, you would expect so. He gets better as the preparation deepens. Taking a look at Arapaho, who of course is a Group 1 winner over further. You would imagine his target would be the Tancred or the Sydney Cup. He'll go forward. He'll be right there on speed from a suitable barrier for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, he's definitely going to need today's run. He's a big horse, and yeah, when he gets over further, we'll be watching for him. So watch for him that last furlong. We will really want to see him attack the line. Lindemann, gee, he was outstanding first up in the Apollo, where he was just beaten. He was so brave. He went forward. He makes his own luck. He rolls along, and the extra trip will suit him.
Yeah, no doubting that, and loves the firm conditions that he finds himself with today, and he'll get only better, which is scary to think as he deepens into the preparation. Land Legend, of course, a Group 1 winner of the Metropolitan last spring. That was in a protest. You would expect again that he would need further, and that's the common theme with a number of these runners.
Yeah, of course. The further the better for them, and Land Legend, I love watching him. I don't think he's the kindest of rides. He really locks on for his jockeys. He's quite strong, but I mean, first up today, he's probably not going to lock on, I don't think, but yeah, watch for him. Late Golden Path, he resumed in the Apollo. He was beaten just over 3 lengths there to Fangirl. Look, he's probably going to have to step up, but what a great money spinner he's been for his connections. Of course, a $35,000 purchase, but here's the champ, Via Sistina.
And she's a superstar, isn't she? Not only of Australian racing, but of world racing. This week announced as one of the top 10 horses in the world with world rankings, up to the mile suits. Be happy that Chow Wolf isn't here today. And you would imagine that to the mile today, Fangirl and her are more evenly placed, but she has definitely got class on her side.
Yeah, it's just good to see her hit the line the way she did in the Apollo Stakes behind Fangirl, and she certainly is going to relish the mile today. Fangirl looks excellent as well.
And there's Dougie Bollinger, of course, leading her around. She can win again on a dry deck. Yeah, congrats to Billy Egan there on a Group 1 victory at headquarters as we move towards the Tab Verry Elleegant Stakes here at Royal Randwick. And I'm joined by Kieran Maher, who saddles up a very interesting runner. It's got to be said, Kieran, Zarakem looks beautiful out there today, but you would expect this import and this Entai will need further in time. Tell us a little bit about him.
Yeah, he was sent over. He's obviously got some pretty good-looking form. He's come over. He's a, as you said, he's a beautiful horse. He settled into the routine very well for an Entai, and yeah, I think he'll, 10 furlongs, he'll start to get warm, and possibly even a little bit of juice. But he's trialled up well. I think he'll improve off this. And I'm very thankful that Nikolai sent him over.
So going forward, you would expect, are we going to see him possibly in a Queen Elizabeth? What's the eventual target for him, or even further than that?
Yeah, I thought the Queen Elizabeth would be a good target, and if the Autumn in Sydney does what it should do, we should be in business. But no, he's prepped up really well and just settled in really quick. So he come over in great order, and really looking forward to see what he can do.
Good luck, and hope to see him hitting the line stylishly today.
Cheers, Em.
Kieran Maher there with Zarakim as we get a market mover for the Verry Elleegant Alley.
No prizes for this one, Em. It's Via Sistina. This could be a nervous watch for the tab traders.
Yeah, they're not probably feeling all that good about themselves at the moment. A win for the good guys currently, Katie, as we look towards this classic edition. And punters have narrowed in on two. I mean, primarily Via Sistina, whose record is just building and building, season in, season out. But Fangirl, again, she does get conditions to suit, the setup to suit. There's a lot in her favour as well.
Yeah, look, she definitely needs everything to go her way, Fangirl. She's just that type of horse. She doesn't want them to go too fast, where she's out of her comfort zone. She doesn't want them to go too slow. Obviously, the leaders will kick on and win. But she has a lethal turn of foot. But over the mile, Via Sistina, she can be not too far away. Looking at the speed map could be a little bit interesting. It'll all depend on the jump here, I think, and look, the nerves, the tension feels like it's building, and no doubt James McDonald will be feeling that too, because he's obviously had a good day so far, but he loves Via Sistina.
Another one at the short coat, Richo and Lizzie. Quick thought before the jumping of the Verry Elleegant.
I think Fangirl can knock off Via Sistina. I think it'll be a great battle, and that international import's a good roughie. Let's go.
Hot favourite here, Via Sistina. $1.55 for the tab Verry Elleegant Stakes. She was a dual winner of this race. We're all set. Ready now. And they're off and racing, and Arapaho bounced out well. So did Lindemann the outside, and Golden Path quickly accelerating. They're followed by Zarakim, and Via Sistina's rolling forward on the outside of Fangirl. They're followed by Faulkner Park, and Land Legend settles last of all. So Golden Path races to the lead, out by 2 lengths now on Lindemann. Arapaho just eases back, several lengths in front of Zarakim. James McDonald wanted to be in front of Fangirl in the run, so he's got Via Sistina up running 5th, 1 off the fence. A length and a half Faulkner Park. Fangirl is a length and a half there behind Via Sistina. 2 lengths out the back to Land Legend, so about 10 lengths covers the field. Golden Path in front by 2 lengths on Lindemann. Similar margin to Arapaho, followed by the French imports. Zarakim on the inside of the great mare Via Sistina. Length and a half Faulkner Park, Fangirl the other, and Land Legend is back last of all. Golden Path 2 in front of the 600 metres to Lindemann under a quiet ride. Then came Arapaho. Via Sistina starting to inch closer, and already she's peeling 3 wide coming to the bend from Zarakim, and Fangirl is right on the coattails of Via Sistina as they turn. Golden Path in front from Lindemann, then Arapaho. Via Sistina sold up now, and Fangirl going every bit as well on the outside. Down to the 250, Lindemann raced up on the outside of Golden Path. Fangirl and Via Sistina. This is a great finish coming up. Via Sistina's knuckling down, so's Fangirl. Via Sistina, Fangirl, Via Sistina. Brave win, Via Sistina. Won it by a neck on the line to Fangirl, and a headaway Lindemann the inside. Then came Arapaho, Faulkner Park, Golden Path, Land Legend and Zarakim.
She's the champ, isn't she? She's back and back in a huge way. A wonderful day. James McDonald, 4 wins, 2 Group 1s for the day. Chris Waller with 2 Group 1s, but this is the one that would give them so much satisfaction. Chris Waller has always rated this girl at the absolute top level. And Katie, we just saw why she's one of the highest ranked horses in the world. Waller's trained the trifecta. She was too good.
Yeah, if there's a will, there's a way, isn't there, Richo? And she just finds when she needs to. And Fangirl really put it to her. And what a top horse Fangirl is to level up alongside her and say, right, I am here. And just for her to knuckle down the way that she is, she's such a big striding mare. She takes a little bit of winding up. She needed every bit of the mile today, and just really exciting because she's obviously she's a horse that everyone watches. She's on her way to hopefully follow the same path as Winx and hopefully level with Winx for the most Group 1s won in a season, which is pretty incredible. What a team that Chris Waller has this spring, and he must be so thrilled.
He's trained the trifecta, Lizzie, in a Group 1. I mean, I know we have a lot of Chris Waller on our program because he's so dominant, but let's not underestimate that.
Yeah, amazing achievement, and he just keeps rewriting the record books time and time again. A couple of horses I want to highlight who actually found the line quite nicely were Faulkner Park, who ran out of his skin, Arapaho also, two of them who will be looking for a lot further in time. The trifecta up and running, really hard fit horses. There was a nice enough tempo set by Golden Path, and she did, as Katie mentioned, have to really dig deep to get over Lindemann, and also for Fangirl to really fend off that challenge. But she's a remarkable horse, and we're going to see some records broken over this autumn, and this man Chris Waller is doing it in his own style.
Geez, your girls are good, hey? They're amazing, and now you have the record for the Chipping Norton / Verry Elleegant with 11 victories next to your name, Chris. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a great thrill.
Tell us about when you were watching those two mares battle down the straight, what you thought, but also when Via, I guess, settled in front of Fangirl. Was that a bit of a surprise?
Yeah, I knew it was going to be a battle of tactics, and James was concerned about the draw in terms of where we would get to, and the track's racing pretty quick today, and it's hard to make up a lot of ground. So yeah, the last 200 metres, I was proud. Simple as that. Unfortunately, there had to be a winner.
Yeah, I can see you're emotional because these mares, they mean a lot to you, but I guess Via Sistina, the way that she has captured a nation's heart over the last year or so has been something pretty special to witness.
No, it's been a great story. 12 months ago, she wasn't even in our lives. Just a horse in quarantine, and we were just starting to getting to know her, and what's happened in the last 12 months has been quite remarkable. And yeah, and as a Fangirl, she was here last year, then she went missing. She couldn't run the George Ryder. And Lindemann, he's had a setback as well. So they've all come back and done us very proud.
Do records mean much to you? I mean, overtaking Tommy Smith, that's a pretty incredible thing for a record in a race.
They do.
Congratulations, mate.
That's right, he goes past TJ Smith. They both won 10 Chipping Norton / Verry Elleegant stakes in the past. He's now got 11, 173 Group 1s. J-Max got 111. Let's just keep blowing the dust off these history books as it keeps getting rewritten right here on 7.
Gotta keep on running.
We've seen a thrilling Chipping Norton Stakes, now known as the Verry Elleegant Stakes, became a Group 1 in 1986, and it's hard to believe. But since it's become a Group 1, Chris Waller has won it an incredible 11 times now. He teams up with James McDonald. J-Mac goes to 111 career Group 1s. He's with Emma.
It's been a good day, but a tough day because you've had to fight for those Group 1s. Well done, you get to 111.
I thought they were supposed to be easier than that.
No, never.
No, she was great. You got second up last prep. That was her worst run. So we had that in the back of our mind, and she's come away. She's obviously got through that well, and she's got through her second up, so now it's all upside from here.
So up to the 2000, I mean, everything's at her mercy, isn't it? After that, I mean, she was very...
Season racing, but she's going to be awfully hard to beat, especially now that second up runs out of the way. We all know what she can do third and fourth up, and her big one's fourth up, so that's when she won a Cox Plate, and hopefully she can get somewhere near that. She probably won't ever get near that again, but at least she can get somewhere near that.
Is that difficult in a way, knowing that a career peak, an 8-length victory in a Cox Plate record time, that it's hard to emulate those feats in the next preparation, although she's come back in great style?
Yeah, exactly. We know it's probably not going to happen again, and but all she's got to do is run within a length or two, or even 3. So I'm sure she's come back in that sort of order. The way she won the Cox Plate was unbelievable. So we're under no illusions she's going to do that again, but we'd hope so.
Can you believe that only 4 months ago you're sitting on 99 and you had to wait and You're waiting for that 100, and now you're on 111 Group 1 wins. Can you quite believe that it's happened that quickly?
Not really. I'm just enjoy competing and going out there and trying to do my absolute best. And I work with a great team with Chris, and he preps them up beautifully. And I ride some absolute Ferraris, so I could strap you on top of them and they'll probably win.
Don't know about that. Well done.
Thanks.